So today, for our ghost hunt, a very, very haunted property that I've brought you to. Today we are in West Sussex and we are at Mitchelham Priory. Very, very haunted. Lots of ghostly tales that have gone on here. It's an amazing house. It was actually built, or the property itself was given and built. There was a priory here that was, hence the name, Mitchelham Priory, that was given to the monks, the Augustinian monks, who were the first ones here. They built the priory here and they initially had it. Then it obviously fell into different hands through the years. It was even given as part of a divorce settlement to Anne of Cleves by Henry VIII. So she owned it for a period, and it's gone through many different hands, but there are lots and lots of, well, let's just say in the field of the paranormal, this is one of your A1s. This is one of your top level places for paranormal activity. So let's crack on and see what today offers. We're going to carry out some EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. Also going to do some audio, ghost box, and all sorts of various stuff. So come with us today. So luckily enough, there's Michelle here. She's got a story that happened just recently in the last few weeks in the actual building itself, and she's going to relay that to you now.
Hiya. We had an email that came in a couple of days ago from a visitor that wanted to know, was the mannequin that's in our tulip room downstairs in the big fireplace, have we moved it and have we changed it? Because when they came in the other day, it was the mannequin that we have, but when they came in 2 weeks ago, they said it was totally different. It was long black boots, in a long black jacket,
frock coat or something, yeah.
Yep, standing in the middle of the fireplace. So they just assumed it was a mannequin when they saw it. Obviously when they came back in a couple of days ago, it was totally different, which is why they emailed us to check. I've just emailed back to say, well, that story, we heard that story from years ago, so that just corresponds.
Oh, so it's kind of happened before then?
I've heard that story from years and years ago, yeah.
Excellent stuff.
So,
have you experienced anything yourself here?
Loads, yeah.
Have you? Can you give us an idea or an instance?
Well, we get things moved all the time. We get doors opening. We get keys that seem to just get put in people's pockets and end up taking them home. We get voices. I mean, we get cupboards opening quite a lot. So the other day I was looking up and I was just sort of saying, oh, anyone here, are you going to say hello to me? Nothing. The next morning, the person that was doing duty managing the next day came in, and she was terrified because as she was walking around the house opening up, a voice went to her, hello.
Oh, really?
And she just wanted to get out of there as quick as possible. So I thought, well, I'd asked for it the day before. It's a bit of a delay, but they did.
Then you've got it, yeah. The time, yeah. Well, that's exactly it. We don't know, do we? What the time delay is.
And only recently as well, the cafe lady, her daughter went into the toilets, and she was really, really scared. So her daughter's, the older daughter went in with her, the younger one, and they went in the cubicle together. And the littler one was so scared, she kept looking up and saying, "I really don't like that tall man with a long mat looking over the toilet door."
Oh, really?
Yeah, our toilet's.
So we've got voyeur ghosts as well then.
We've got all sorts here.
Was that the ladies' toilet by any chance?
Ladies' toilet.
Do you know what? The one thing I've noticed over the years of doing this for many years is that you can more or less always guarantee a toilet ghost.
I found that as well.
And it's always the ladies.
Yeah, and it does feel creepy in there sometimes, and it backs out to our compound, which has got a lot of history to it. So.
Yeah, so you never know what was on that spot initially, I guess, do you really?
Yeah.
Michelle, thank you ever so much. I really appreciate it. That's very kind of you.
Here, especially this time of year, it does sort of seem to keep.
Well, we're coming to the spooky season now, aren't we? Halloween and what have you. Only a few days off, so the veil is very thin, as they say.
Yep. So
thank you, Michelle. That's very kind of you. Appreciate that. So there you go, straight from the lovely Michelle, and a very lovely person she is too. So you give you an insight into some of the things that go on here. These are just snippets that Michelle was telling us, but you know, she's got a whole plethora of stories, paranormal stories behind her days and nights here. So yeah, so it's really good. So I hope you enjoyed that, and let's crack on, get some more footage, and maybe do an EVP or two and a ghost box, and maybe pull one or two items out of the bag that you haven't seen yet, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay guys, I'm going to start the investigation with an EMF Mitchelham. It's like a K2, it's a similar thing. It's these are used by electricians generally for testing electric wires. So if there's any electrical energy here, anything that's disrupting the EMF field, hopefully it might be, it's a possibility it could be a spirit. I can't guarantee you that, but yeah, I've had some good conversations using these things, getting the lights to go up to certain points for yes, certain points for no. And I've got another piece of kit in my bag that is designed specifically for that, which I shall use presently. So we're going to get this cracking with this in a minute. I'm going to wait for a couple of people to go. It was really quiet here. I don't know what's happening. It's so quiet, and then all of a sudden, every sod or the wife and the wife and the dog turn up for a day out. Anyway, we're going to crack on in a minute. So let's just turn that on. That's on. Okay. So we're looking for any fluctuation in the lights there. So are there any spirits here? Any people that would like to come from the spirit world that would like to come forward and have a chat with me, please? My name is Dan, and I'm here as an observer. I'm just here to hopefully get a little bit of a conversation going with you, find out a little bit about who you are, find out about the sort of things that you did in life, what time period you were from, and just communicate and hopefully get some sort of clarification of life beyond death. We know that it's, or we think we know that it's a thing. We think we know that it's real. I believe in it wholeheartedly. But I would like you to just give me some sort of clarification that you're there and you're conversing with me. And you can do that by moving in front of this machine here. And there's like an assembly of lights, and you can make those fluctuate by going by. Sorry about that. If you could do that, that would be brilliant, please. So are there any spirit people here that would like to communicate with me, like to come forward and say hello? If you could move in front of the EMF machine, or the EMF, and try and get some activity coming. Are there many spirits here that inhabit this place? Just move it around a bit. Like I say, my name is Dan. I'm no one special. I'm just what they call a ghost hunter or a paranormal investigator. So I research this type of thing. I try and get information in the hope that I can converse with people that have passed over to the other side. Is it possible that you could come forward and make those lights light up or fluctuate? I would be so appreciative of it. Could you come forward, please? Are there any spirit men or women here, or children? Okay, right, okay guys. Okay, so we're going to try and use the ghost box now. Are there any spirits here that would like to come forward and communicate with me, please? Anybody from the house or anybody in the grounds? Could you come forward and have a chat with me? My name is Dan. So I'm going to introduce myself to you. Could you please give me your name? We're not just looking for certain time periods, we're looking for any time period. Any spirit person from any time period. If you could come forward and make yourself known to me, that would be wonderful, please. I know that there were people, or there were men here during the Second World War that were the Canadians. The Canadians were based here. Do you remember them? Do you remember them being here? Or perhaps you're one of those men. Or perhaps you're here before the priory. Perhaps you were one of the monks, one of the Augustinian monks that walked here, that said prayers here. Remember, guys, if you can pick anything up out of this, you can make anything out of what's being said here that might be relevant, could you timestamp it and put it in the comments, please? So are there any brothers here? Any Augustinian friars? Are there any of you here? Could you give me your name, please? Danny, that's me. Have you got a message for me? Have you got something you'd like to tell me? I'm Danny. Are any of my friends here from the other side? Any of my family? No? Is that a lady that's trying to get through and communicate with me? Hang on, guys. Get back in a sec. Who are you? Could you tell me your name, please? You know, I'm not here to disrespect you. I'm purely and simply here to find out if we exist beyond death. I know we do, but it's nice to get some sort of affirmation. Could you tell me the name of the building that I'm looking at? Where I am, please. Could you tell me the name of the building that I'm looking at? Is that Priory? Maybe I'm reaching. Again, could you tell me the name of the building that I'm looking at, please? I believe that this home, this beautiful house, was bequeathed, or not bequeathed, but it was actually given in a divorce settlement from King Henry VIII to his wife, Anne of Cleves. A woman that he loved very much. Has Anne of Cleves been here? Can you tell me who walks the halls of that house, please? Can you tell me who walks the halls of Mitchelham Priory? The spirit. Was that a Gregorian? It sounded like a chant. So review that. Can you tell me who walks the halls of Mitchelham Priory, please? What spirit people or spirit person walks the halls? Now, a lovely lady called Michelle, I'm sure you know her. She's one of the ladies that works here. She said to me earlier that there was people that came here and they thought a mannequin had been moved because they saw the bottom half of a man, long frock coat and boots, standing in the fireplace. Who is that, please? Is it possible to have the name of that gentleman, please? Okay, we'll give that a rest for a minute, and we'll see what the next trick is. Right, guys, I'm going to try some EVPs. There's a small girl out there, back there, but if I can, it's just her. If I can discount her voice from this, hopefully we can pick something up in the recording. Let's see, let's do the best we can. Are there any spirit people here that would like to come forward and communicate with me today? My name is Dan. Would you be kind enough to give me your name, please? Could one of the spirit people here come forward and give me the name of the gentleman that was seen in the fireplace a few weeks ago by a couple of visitors? They could just see his boots and his long frock coat. Is it possible, please, to allow or let me know how many spirits walk this land and walk that house? And if so, do you see each other? Can you see each other? Can you acknowledge each other? Okay, guys, we're going to call it on that one for a bit. Okay, guys, let's see if we've got anything. Are there any spirit people here that would like to come forward and communicate with me today? My name is Dan. Would you be kind enough to give me your name, please? Could one of the spirit people here come forward and give me the name of the gentleman that was seen in the fireplace a few weeks ago by a couple of visitors? They could just see his boots and his long frock coat. Is it possible, please, to allow or let me know how many spirits walk this land and walk that house? And if so, do you see each other? Can you see each other? Can you acknowledge each other? Okay, guys, we're going to call it on that one for a bit. Well, I don't know if we've got anything there, guys, but I'll have to, I'm going to have to look at that and see if we've caught anything. We shall see. Right, guys, I'm in the physics garden now. Physics garden, or no, actually, no, it's the cottage garden. So you can see the house right behind me there. So I thought this would be a good place to do. It's very quiet and maybe a really good place to do some EVPs. So let's crack on with that and see if we can get anything in here EVP wise. Let's see. See what we can get. Hang on a minute, guys. There's some people here. So I'll just wait for them to go. I'll wait for them to go. I'll be quiet. It's my family. Let them go. All right. Let's stop this. Gonna start again. Right guys, I'm in the actual cottage garden now, which is right next to, not far from the house. You can see the house right behind me. And I'm going to carry out some EVPs here, see if we can get anything on this. Are there any spirit people here in this garden with me today? Could you come forward and make yourselves known, please? Could you just say one or two words into this machine that I've got here? Now, we may not, or I may not be able to hear you audibly because we may be on a different frequency, but if we can communicate through this is probably one of our best hopes, because it should pick up your vibration and my vibration, and we can connect that way. So my name is Dan. I often start, I think is the best way to start, by announcing yourself. Could you tell me your name, please? Are there many spirits here? Are there many ethereal people in this area? And if so, how many spirits inhabit that house? How many in Mitchelham Priory? Perhaps you're an abbot, or perhaps you're one of the children. There was children here at one point. I'm not sure if they were evacuees or they just lived here. But I know there were children here at one point. Do you remember those children? Thank you for participating. Thank you for at least trying. I'm sure you did. Thank you. Okay, guys, let's see if we can hear. Are there any spirit people here in this garden with me today? Could you come forward and make yourselves known, please? Could you just say one or two words into this machine that I've got here? Now, we may not, or I may not be able to hear you audibly because we may be on a different frequency, but if we can communicate through this is probably one of our best hopes, because it should pick up your vibration and my vibration, and we can connect that way. So my name is Dan. I often start, I think is the best way to start, by announcing yourself. Could you tell me your name, please? Are there many spirits here? Are there many ethereal people in this area? And if so, how many spirits inhabit that house? How many in Mitchelham Priory? Perhaps you're an abbot, or perhaps you're one of the children. There was children here at one point. I'm not sure if they were evacuees or they just lived here. But I know there were children here at one point. Do you remember those children? Thank you for participating. Thank you for at least trying. I'm sure you did. Thank you. Well, that's it, guys. I didn't get anything on that. Drew a blank on that as well. This is the case, you know. The thing is that with ghost hunting, it's like that a lot, you know. You probably watch a lot of these channels where they've got stuff coming at them left, right and centre, whether it be audio, physical or visual, in the shape of many things. You'll probably see things being sort of not apparate, but you see things move. And you've got to remember that sometimes that's true, that's real. But in my opinion and in my experience, after doing this for 30 odd years, very, very few of those things actually happen. It's never as dramatic, and there certainly isn't an instance or a case of things happening one after the other in a catalogue style. If it's going to happen, it's going to be infrequent, and it's going to be, to my experience, you know. It's going to be infrequent overall. But anyway, we're doing our best. We'll crack on. We'll see if we can get anything else. And I'll get back to you in a bit. Right, okay, guys, ignore it. The plane is going over, but I'm outside the priory now, as you can see. So hopefully, see if we can get any more joy or any better joy doing EVPs close to the building. Are there any spirit people here that would like to come forward and communicate with me? I've been all over the grounds and I've been trying to make contact with some spirit energy, some spirit people. And if you'd be kind enough to come forward and try and make contact with me, I would really appreciate it, please. Now, we know that this is obviously Mitchelham Priory, and we know its history, and we know that there were lots and lots of Augustinian monks here at one point. Were you one of those? Or perhaps you're a spirit from a different time. Are there many spirits that inhabit Mitchelham Priory? We know that the Priory is really, really haunted. That's why it's kind of I suppose it's a magnet really to paranormal investigators like myself. Do they annoy you? Do paranormal investigators annoy you? Or ghost hunters? So what I'm doing today may seem to you like some form of witchcraft, but it's not. It's actual science, where the equipment I'm using is scientifically based. So magic in a way, but not the type of magic that you would think. Which is why, using this machine here, I can hopefully hear you when you talk back to me. Even though I can't hear you with the naked ear, I can hear you on reviewing of the audio. I mean absolutely no harm to you. I'm just here with love. I want to hear your story, your stories. I hope that none of you are trapped here, and if you are, I hope that you're okay with that, that it gives you some sense of happiness. But please tell me, because it's something that I would like answered, please tell me that you still see your loved ones and you have contact with them. Those that you knew on this side of life and not on the side of life that you, well, the ones that you loved on this side of life. Your families and friends. I want nothing but love and the best for you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so let's see if we can review that, shall we? Okay. Are there spirit people here that would like to come forward and communicate with me? I've been all over the grounds and I've been trying to make contact with some spirit energy, some spirit people. And if you'd be kind enough to come forward and try and make contact with me, I would really appreciate it, please. Well, we know that this is obviously Mitchelham Priory, and we know its history, and we know that there were lots and lots of Augustinian monks here at one point. Were you one of those? Or perhaps you're a spirit from a different time. Are there many spirits that inhabit Mitchelham Priory? because it's a magnet really to paranormal investigators like myself. Do they annoy you? Do paranormal investigators annoy you? Or ghost hunters? So what I'm doing today may seem to you like some form of witchcraft, but it's not. It's actual science with the equipment I'm using, scientific based. So magic in a way, but not the type of magic that you would think. Which is why, using this machine here, I can hopefully hear you when you talk back to me. Even though I can't hear you with the naked ear, I can hear you in the view of the audio. I mean absolutely no harm to you, I'm just here with love. I want to hear your story, your stories. I hope that none of you are trapped here. If you are, I hope that you're okay with that it gives you some sense of happiness. But please tell me, because it's something that I would like answered, please tell me that you still see your loved ones and you have contact with them. Those that you knew on this side of life and not on the side of life that you, well, ones that you loved on this side of life. Your families and friends. I want nothing but life and the best for you. Thank you. Okay, I thought I heard something in there, like there was nobody out here walking. When I was doing that, there wasn't really anybody, well, there wasn't anybody out here. There's gravel here, and I thought I heard footsteps, but bear with me, sorry. Maybe not. That's quite odd. I'll have to re-listen to that and go through the audio and freshen it up. And I don't want to tamper with it too much because I think it kind of messes with the fabric of the recording. But if you mess around with it too much, but I want to clean it up a little bit, tiny little bit, make it more audible, and then I'll get back to you, see what it is. It may be nothing. It may be something. Who knows? That's the quest. That's the enjoyment of ghost hunting, paranormal investigation. You're always looking for little clues, looking for that needle in the haystack, as it were. So that'll do for that, and we'll see if we can get a chance to do anything a little bit later on. Can't promise anything, but hopefully we can. See you in a bit. Okay guys, so I'm in the house now. Oh, that was odd. Hello there, if there are any spirits here with me in this house today, any people from the ethereal world, could you come forward please and indicate that you're here with me? You can acknowledge me by either moving either side of this machine here. So you don't want to speak to me, is that right? Would you speak to me please? Let's try that again. Maybe that was me. Although I'm too far away from it. Let's give it one more try. Yeah, it's possibly me. Right, let's let that settle. So that was a false positive. Are there any spirits people in this house with me today that would like to come forward and make contact? I just want to have a chat with you about your life here. I'm very interested in who you are and what your position was when you were in this side of life. Now, if you move in front of this machine that's in front of me, each side will indicate a yes and a no. So if I go this side, that lights the top up red for no. And if I go this side, that lights the top up green for yes. So I'll just let it reset itself. So are there any spirits that would like to come forward and communicate with me? Anybody here at Mitchelham Priory that would like to come forward? It's like I say, I'm not here to ridicule you, make fun of you, use you like a circus act, nothing like that. I'm just trying to get clarification of life beyond death. Once we leave this life and go into... Do you want me to leave? Would you like me to leave? Could you do that again, please? Could you step in front of that barrier again, please? Just to let me know that you're here. Could you do that for me? Or if possible, could you move in front of the one on my right, to my right-hand side? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so you kind of got the hang of this. Could you do that once more for me, please? Is that possible? Could you do it for me just to let me know that you're definitely here? I'm sorry to labour the point, but I just need to know for definite. Could you step in front of that barrier again, please? Break that barrier so that I know you're here. Are there many spirits inside this property? And are you definitely one of them? That's just somebody walking by outside. Okay. Are you not very happy with my presence here today? Would you be kind enough to come forward and talk to me, even by just using the lights on this machine? Are you a man? Are you a lady? Perhaps you're a child. Are you a child? Are you laughing at me? Could you please come forward once more and step in front of one of those barriers? Step in front of one of those lights so that you can set the alarm off for me. If you could do that one more time, please. I'd be ever so grateful to you. Okay, so we've had a few bits here, little bits in here. It's not sure if there's anything. It's gone off again. Very odd. Okay, well, we'll take that as somebody might be here. I don't know. It's a possibility, but I'm not anywhere near it. I'm away from it, and I'm not sort of pushing my hand in front of it or anything like that. The barrier beam's been broken on its own, so, well, maybe not on its own, but something's breaking it. Hopefully it's spirit. We're going to move on now to the next room and hopefully set the same experiment up in there, see if we can get contact with the spirit that's been seen there recently, the gentleman by the fireplace. Okay, so since we had good results in the last one, I'm going to try and hopefully what I can try and do is see if we can get any EVPs in here. See if we can do that. See what we can get. Okay, let's try. Are there any spirit people in Mitchelham Priory with me this morning, or this afternoon I should say? I just believe that I've had some kind of communication with the spirit here. I don't know who you are, but I think that you were playing with me a little bit. I think that you were trying to give me an indication that you were here by lighting up my machine. Now, this machine that I've got here, if you speak, I should be able to pick your voice up on it. So could you tell me your name, please? Can you tell me how many spirits inhabit this building? My name is Dan. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. I believe there's meant to be a monk or an abbot or one of the brothers, one of the Augustinian brothers, is meant to haunt this part of the property, this undercroft as it were. Was that you that was just trying to talk to me earlier, converse with me? Okay, let's see if we've got anything. Are there any spirit people in Mitchelham Priory with me this morning, or this afternoon I should say? I just believe that I've had some kind of communication with the spirit here. I don't know who you are, but I think that you were playing with me a little bit. I think that you were trying to give me an indication that you were here by lighting up my machine. Now this machine that I've got here, if you speak, I should be able to pick your voice up on it. So could you tell me your name, please? Can you tell me how many spirits inhabit this building? My name is Dan. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. I believe there's meant to be a monk or an abbot or one of the brothers, one of the Augustinian brothers, is meant to hold this part of the property, this undercroft as it were. Was that you that was just trying to talk to me earlier, converse with me? Okay, let's see if we've got anything. Worth a go though. Okay. Worth a go. Okay, so I'm in the room now, which is reported to have had that spirit in it recently that was seen by somebody. They thought it was a mannequin, but it didn't fit the description of any mannequins they got here, and it certainly wasn't in the same position. It was a man in a long cloak and boots. I'm guessing riding boots from the day, but we'll see. So I've set up the pyramid here, paranormal pyramid, in the hope that we can get some kind of answers from whoever's here, if there is somebody here. If there's anybody here in this room with me today, would it be possible for you to come forward, please, to move in front of that pyramid that's in front of me? And either side of it, there are two little glass beads. If you move in front of those, you can light the light up at the top. The green one on the right is for a yes, and the red one is for a no answer, and that's on the left as I'm looking at it. So could you come forward, please? Could you communicate with me if that's possible? If you could move in front of that, it would give me an answer. Or hopefully it'll give you some sort of answers. And I could possibly build up some sort of rapport with you. Are there many spirits that inhabit this building, that inhabit this beautiful Mitchelham Priory? I'm talking now to the gentleman that was seen in here, I believe, recently. Did you know that you were seen? Did you want to be seen? Is that why you appeared to people? If you're a gentleman, could you move in front of that machine to let me know, please? Or perhaps you're a lady, could you do the same? Or possibly a child. No, much joy with that, guys. Okay. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Our little saunter into history and through history. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I've had a really good day here. Met some really lovely people, and I've learned some very, very spooky and very, very good stories that we'll keep for another time. But I just want to say, from me and from the beautiful Mitchelham Priory, I just want to say goodbye. And we'll see you in the next spooky edition. Who knows where we'll be? I certainly don't. Speak to you then. Bye, guys.